All right, fellas. Welcome to the Patreon, man. We're gonna talk about this coronavirus stuff, and we're gonna listen to some videos. I'm gonna give you guys some insights on what we need to be doing, man. All right, so let's do it. Let's get it.
I work for Well Cornell Medicine on 68th in York. I do comparative pathology research. We deal with biohazardous materials and radiation particles. We inject animals like rhesus monkeys, rats, and mice with diseases and radioactive agents. 2 weeks ago, when I went to work, I noticed the security guards were in Tyvek hazmat suits and they were armed, which is not normal. But I didn't pay it any mind. I go upstairs to work, I clock in. My boss is like, yo, listen, you're not needed, but we need you to surrender your Geiger counter. My Geiger counter was attached to my ID because we deal with radiation emissions in my department on the 7th floor, which is the only department that deals with radiation. But they wanted me to surrender my Geiger counter. When I left work, the only people that were left in my building's facility were the scientists, the professors, the researchers, and security guards that were armed. It's not the virus that's getting people sick. It's 5G network from the radiation.
Exactly. And if you guys played the game called Fallout 3, or any Fallout game, if you guys know what I'm talking about, in the Fallout game, it was towards the end of the world, right? It was like Washington DC, and they had a Las Vegas one, and it was like post-apocalypse type shit. And what was left? The radiation. And I noticed when you go in certain areas within society, when you go in certain areas within that game, your radiation bar will be like, it'll be ticking up, tick, tick, tick. And if it hits all the way up to like 100%, you'll die. You'll like kill yourself on the game. And radiation is everywhere, fellas. Like, radiation is in our microwaves when we heat up our foods. It's everywhere. But this 5G shit, the towers that they put in, that's the real shit, right? That's some real life shit that people don't really understand. See, what this is what the government does. What they do is they give us like a distraction. That's a problem, and then they give us the real problem. The real problem is the 5G. Okay, the distraction is the coronavirus, right? That's the distraction. Yes, the virus is real, but the virus is not that serious. It's not that serious. And I'm gonna be honest, fellas. When I left Milwaukee back in January, man, I was sick as a motherfucker. Like the first 5 days I'm home back here in Austin, Texas. I was sick as a fuck. I probably had the corona then, but guess what? My body healed, and I got rid of that shit. All they trying to do is scare us. That's their whole agenda. And that's why I tell y'all, like, y'all always ask me, like, Steph, what are some red pill movies? All movies are red pill because all movies have some sort of truth to it. You just got to have a lens to see it. You know, we're going to do a movie breakdown on the movie Cell. The movie Cell talks about this. The movie Cell talks about the 5G towers. They're going to do shit to our phones, man. I just read something talking about they want to shut down the internet and shit for like 3 days. Why? Because they doing something with that 5G shit. Y'all, it's bigger than female nature, dog. Real talk.
And the reason why they have me surrender my Geiger counter is so if I'm in a proximity of people that have 5G networks, my Geiger counter is going to detect that I'm in a proximity of radiation. That's what's getting people sick. That's what's getting people with respiratory issues. That's why some people are dying. Now, my homie works for Verizon. He got a message via email from corporate instructing him and his 100-man crew to pump 5G network cables throughout the tri-state area, whether buildings or houses were abandoned or not. The letter said, if your crew gets sick, we'll send them home and you keep on working. Don't worry. When they say that the oil is short, you'll be first dibs to get the oil. The oil to care. Exactly. That's deep, bro. I'm glad you came on and told my audience that just now because, damn. Well, I've been trying to hit you up for a minute, man, because shit is real. And niggas don't really know what's going on. They believe in what the media is telling them. Just understand, whatever the media is saying they're gonna do, they're not gonna do. They're telling you they're gonna give you $1,200 stimulus check for this money. How? When they say that the money is gonna be contaminated, then they're gonna shut down the banks worldwide. How the fuck are you gonna cash that check if you're quarantined and you can't leave and the banks are shut down?
I mean, what you gonna do with $1,200 anyway? $1,200 is crumbs, dog. Motherfuckers in California and New York can't even pay their rent with that money. Right? You can't even you know what I'm saying? Like you can't even do nothing with $1,200. So I tell y'all to save y'all money for times like this. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, man, because you don't know what can happen. First they were saying, you know, gym's gonna shut down to April. It's April, dog. We get quarantined for another 30 days. People gonna lose their fucking mind staying in the house. I can do this shit. But I got my weights, I got my cardio equipment right there, I got my pull-up bar, I got my food. I'm good. I can do this shit. Right. It's fucked up, man. It's a fucked up thing. It's fucked up.
They're doing technology and manipulating the people to believe a big ass fucking lie. Exactly. That's a fact. I believe so too, bro. And a lot of people is not aware of 5G and the health benefits of it. 5G is game over. It's frying us. So it's just like in Wuhan when that's the first place they really rolled out 5G. Exactly. And I believe here it was New York City, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Because in New York, look at the rates going up with people with coronavirus. Exactly. And how they diagnosing all these people when they say they ain't got no test? Right or wrong? Facts. Yo, you know what's crazy? The symptoms that they're saying is caused by this virus are the same exact symptoms from radiation contamination.
And the same exact symptoms as the flu. And what they would do is they would put some sort of propaganda title on their YouTube channel, or they would put some sort of propaganda title on the Google article saying there's over 200,000 cases to make guys scared. A case don't mean you fucking finna die. You mean to tell me it was 200,000 cases in the last 2 weeks? Man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit lie, dog. People believe that shit, dog. People that's blue pill believe that shit. People that's blue pill don't have the understanding like we do. All y'all that's 21 or older y'all need to be protecting yourself with a gun. I have two of them, an AK and a Glock 9. How can y'all survive through this? Bitches don't matter through this time in this pandemic. Why you should have a gun? Because you need to protect yourself and protect your family. Because a motherfucker ain't running at you with no fists. A motherfucker's running at you with weapons. Real life weapons. You gotta be aware of that. You gotta be ready for that. You gotta be ready for that time to come. You gotta be prepared. That's why I tell us to get in shape. What if we gotta fight somebody? You ain't in shape? You skinny as fuck? You fat? Gassing for air? Y'all get ready for this shit, man. All this shit that they putting on the news, dog, is just here to scare us, bro. That's it.
They're talking about loss of taste, loss of smell, hair loss, vomiting, diarrhea. Pretty soon they're going to say a new symptom is blood in your stool and blood in your urine, constant parchness, that you'll have an unquenchable thirst, because radiation boils the water molecules in your brain, in your respiratory tract, and in your reproductive system. So don't be surprised when this shit disappears and 10 years later it comes back, because that's what's going to happen. You're sterile and you can't produce. There was a movie called Children of Men, or The City of Men. Children of Men, right? Where a war came out, and for years no one was able to reproduce. But one woman gave birth to a baby, and it changed the world. These niggas are literally acting out scripts from movies and fictional books to.
That's why I tell y'all. Y'all think like I don't know what I've been talking about. We finna do this movie review on sale. All these movies have meanings to them. Some people, most people in society, fellas, watch movies for entertainment. Most people in society watch movies for entertainment. I don't watch movies for entertainment purposes. If y'all see the show The Boys, right? That The Boys show on Amazon is strictly about how fucked up the government is. That's what it's about. And the person that's in the boy, a person that's in the government is trying to expose their ass. That's what it's about, bro. That's the bigger picture. And then the underdogs is the red pillars. The men who are masking, the men who want to do something, the men who want to change something. That's the underdogs. Right? That's the underdogs. Because they put shit on the news to make it seem like it's real, but it's fake. If y'all watch The Boys show, that's what that shit about. And this shit fake. Right? I never seen Children of Men, but now I want to watch it. I seen the movie Cell. Cell is all about the 5G towers. They hack the cell phones and put something in the cell phones to make people fucking zombies.
Still fear and in the media propaganda. Fear is the lowest vibration, and that also weakens your immune system. And when you're scared, the adrenochrome that's in your blood makes your blood pump faster, harder, and stronger, which is what the pedo bloodsuckers need in order to be young again. Which is why they're also saying that kids are getting infected, and they're going to mandate or force inoculate the vaccine on niggas. The FDA.
That's another thing I'm going to tell y'all. The vaccines it's not a vaccine, it's the virus. Dog, this is real red pill shit, dog. The vaccines is the virus. None of y'all niggas should be getting vaccines. None of y'all. I haven't got a vaccine shot in almost 15, 16, 17, 18, 7 years. I haven't got a vaccine shot in 7 years. The day I fucking woke up from the blue pill, bro, I told my mama, don't you ever give me no fucking vaccine shot again. And guess what? Now my mom don't take vaccine shots. What is the point of a vaccine shot? To make you immune to the disease? So what the fuck is the immune system for then? The vaccine shot is not a buff. The immune system is the character. The vitamin C, the antibiotics, the stuff that you need to take for your immune system, the essentials for your immune system. Those are the buffs. The debuff, in terms of games that I'm talking, the debuff is the virus, the poison. You know how you poison in video game when you don't know at first, and then your HP like at critical level said 500 HP, but you started at 10,000 hit points? Yeah, oh shit, I gotta heal myself. Yeah, that's the virus. I mean, that's the vaccines. There is no fucking vaccines.
FDA takes a year and a half to approve of a vaccine. Why within 3 months of the year, all of a sudden they have this vaccination ready to be mandated, forced on you, whether you say yes or no, they're gonna.
Man, I ain't taking shit. I'm not taking shit. Oh, mothers. Shit, I ain't taking shit. Big facts. Real talk. Listen to this right here.
Between 2013 through to 2015. I was privy to a number of the new technologies that were coming down the pipe that was going to be implemented, namely the Internet of Things, and secondly, the 5G technology. I knew a long time ago that 5G was dangerous, but I didn't understand the correlation with the coronavirus, which I now do, and I want to be able to explain that to you. So what is happening? There is a deliberate strategy to roll out 5G, which is the fifth generation internet radio spectrum frequencies that enable mobile phones, smartphones, and all devices to function on a much faster processing ability. And with the introduction of AI, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things, where all devices will be connected, so whether it's your car, whether it's your phone, whether it's your refrigerator, whether it's your electricity in your house, it's all going to be on a smart grid. Effectively a type of matrix, unfortunately. Sorry to use that term. So what is happening is that this technology has to be rolled out globally. My company that I used to work for, as they're running their largest worldwide business unit, is Vodafone. Vodafone are in partnership with Huawei or Huawei, whatever you call them, a Chinese telecoms company. And they have been rolling out systematic 5G implementation in multiple locations. What's the relevance? The frequency that they're using, and I also ran a telecoms company back in 2010 through to 2013-14, some of you will be aware, that specialized in radio spectrum, this is the ability to take external signals from satellites into buildings. And so that the frequency that you experience and power on your phone is the same in the building as it is outside of the building. When mobile networks were created initially, they thought people will be on the road all the time, hence why they were called mobile phones. But actually what happened is people used their mobile phones in buildings and the signal wasn't strong enough to penetrate buildings. That's called radio spectrum. And they're different megahertz frequencies, etc. So the 5G frequency is a very high frequency, very, very, very high frequency. It is just below the classification of a weapon, and I'll tell you why. The frequency that they're using, which is 10 times faster than 4G, unfortunately, when it comes into connection with human bodies, causes cell poisoning. Cell poisoning. So our bodies try to fight the radiation that is in the form of cell poisoning because of this frequency. It is effectively radiation. And what happens is our bodies kick out the toxicity or toxins with some proteins and some DNA, RNA from our cells in the form of a chemical which is called a virus. So most diseases are excretions from cells that we are trying to pull out of our body or push out of our body. And it will head towards orifices to be excreted or expunged out of our body. So our noses or our mouths. So you can understand the picture I'm painting. So what's happening, sorry for the detail, but this is going to take a bit of time. What is happening is that 5G, the frequency and the power, which is 10 times more powerful than 4G, is reacting adversely with human cells, causing cells in our bodies to be poisoned, toxic, and our natural defense mechanism is pushing out that toxicity in the form of a virus.
So basically, what he's saying is these towers that they building that's on the 5G, our natural immune system is fighting it to push out a virus. That's why it is important that you work out, you eat healthy, and you take care of your fucking immune system. That's why it's imperative to do so. Let's continue to listen.
So what you're seeing is not coronavirus per se. You're seeing cell poisoning manifesting with fluids, chemicals, viruses that the body is trying to dispose of because it's harmful to its physical body. So all that's occurring around the world, and I hear your minds thinking, well, how can that be, Pastor? But I'll explain in a moment. All that's occurring in the world is a reaction to human bodies to the electrification of the universe through 5G satellites, 5G towers, 5G cells that are being populated in major cities around the world. So this is what is causing this pandemic. So sorry to say, second point, this is the largest global cover-up in history for the impact on human beings based on technological advancements. I hope that makes sense. I don't have time to quantify that. I will give you further information in a moment. So what is happening is not the coronavirus. It is a virus that is being produced by cell poisoning. And therefore, the virus that we have is really a measure or indication of our cells excreting toxins. This is what's killing people. So let me give you some facts that will hopefully make this compelling. So one of the first cities that Vodafone, Highway, and some of the other technology companies rolled out the ubiquitous blanket 5G, guess where it was? Wuhan, China, where this coronavirus was supposedly meant to start in some fish market. That is complete nonsense.
The corona is just a cover-up word, geez. It's just a cover-up word. That's all it is, bro.
It started as a result of radioactive or radio frequencies at a high level, creating radiation that was toxic to cells, and that's why people were falling over, dying in the streets, etc. So they've tried to cover it up. So because it has a flu type characteristics, they are using coronavirus to try and hide the fact that people are dying from the 5G frequency. So let me just explain. Other major cities that rolled this out, it takes 6 months for this to impact your physical body. So last year, obviously Wuhan was the first city. Then Spain rolled out 5G. Italy rolled out 5G. So you're seeing an uncommon level of fatalities because of the level of 5G penetration in these countries. Italy has had more fatalities than any other country because it is densely populated with 5G, and the older generation doesn't have the immune system to fight against it. Let me move on because of time. So Italy has rolled it out. Spain has rolled it out. Most major cities have rolled it out around the world, and countries. London is one of the biggest CCTV centers, and obviously they're in the process of rolling out more 5G. What is the relevance of all of this? The relevance is the coronavirus is not what's killing people. It is clearly, categorically, unequivocally, and scientifically proven that the radio frequencies that we are being exposed to is what is killing the people. Why are they allowing it? Because of multiple agendas, but primarily because 5G is the only network with the speed to handle the future. And where we're going rapidly is a world run by AI, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, where everything's interconnected on the internet, a new global currency that's coming out, hence why I've been pushing what I've been pushing for the last 5 years in Africa with our own digital currency to combat what was coming. In addition to that, there will be driverless cars. There'll be a number of different things that basically need to run on 5G. So they cannot reverse the implementation of this technology.
Because technology is always evolving. You know what I'm saying? Technology is always evolving. Pretty soon this shit gonna be looking like Alter Carbon, man. Shit gonna be looking crazy as fuck.
And they're happy for it to the sacrifice to be millions of lives around the world. Just to prove the point further, the cruise ships were installed with 5G. So the people that were quarantined on the cruise ships, they were cruise ships that had 5G, and that's why the people were getting sick. Hospitals have 5G. Major cities have 5G. Airports have 5G. So these are places where people will automatically get sick if they're exposed to the inordinate levels of radiation through radio spectrum poisoning. Okay, so let me move on. We've had 3 pandemics in the last 120 years. The first pandemic was in 1918, which was called the Spanish flu pandemic. This was when they implemented radio waves globally and increased electrification of our universe. Guess what happens? Millions of people died 6 months later with a pandemic they called the Spanish flu pandemic. Roll on a number of years. World War II, just after that, another pandemic, which was the implementation of radar equipment globally. Satellites went up, a plethora of different satellites went up into the what they call is the Van Allen belt, basically where they store and send satellites. So when that was implemented, again, there was a number of deaths from the pandemic. The last major pandemic was in 1968, which was called the Hong Kong flu. Guess what they did then? They rolled out another level of satellite penetration in the Van Allen belt, over 100,000 satellites that were transmitting radar signals, radar field in the cosmic field, basically. So these were satellites that were pushing telecommunications and radar communication. So we had radio waves first at the beginning of the century, and then they implemented radar equipment and telecommunication satellites. These caused pandemics that killed multiple millions of people. The last one was in 1968. So guess what's happening now? They've rolled out 5G, and this is impacting people's lives, killing people around the world, and they're covering it up in the name of coronavirus.
That's the agenda. And there is no need for us to be fucking scared. Because being in fear and being scared ain't gonna do shit. Gotta wake up to reality, fellas. I really do, man. Because ain't no telling how long this shit can happen. Ain't no telling how long this shit can go on for. People losing their jobs, people filing for unemployment. This shit gonna get crazy, dog. This shit gonna get crazy. If they don't put this shit back by Easter, bro, if Trump don't put this shit back by Easter, open gyms up, and y'all, this shit gonna get crazy. They're not quarantining us because of the virus. They're quarantining us because of this 5G shit. That's why they want us inside, because they're building this 5G shit. That's the video for today, though, fellas. This is more 5G things that we're gonna watch. This is one of my favorite movies. A lot of guys say that this movie right here is low rating because, once again, guys lack understanding. Guys just watch movies just because of entertainment. But this is the very first scene in Stephen King's, and I love Stephen King, man. Stephen King is fucking brilliant, man. He makes a lot of great horror movies that could become true. Let's watch this one, though. Let's check this one out. Now, remember what the last guy said in the last video, fellas, that I just did, that what the radiation does and what the 5G towers do to your brain molecules. It dries up your brain molecules, which cause you to have a severe headache, which cause you to do some crazy shit. And this is what the whole movie essentially was about him and Samuel L. Jackson, man. It was a really, really great movie. Dumbass bitch. She got the virus. Oh man. But fellas, that can happen, even though that's kind of extreme. But that's what the whole movie was about 5G. The whole movie was about 5G. Y'all gotta watch the movie, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, dog. I'm gonna do another video later on today, man. I'm gonna record a consultation for you guys like around 3 o'clock. But yeah, man, it's just part 2 of the video, man. Just had to show you guys that shit. We're living in crazy times, man. So just make sure y'all strapped up, man. Protect yourselves, man. I'll holler back at y'all in a minute.